Everyone, Tom Fernandez with Skyview Aerial Solutions. Wanted to talk a little bit about the comments recently that I've been reading on Facebook about how people have been bad-mouthing things like the DJI Phantom and whether it is a legitimate piece of equipment to use for work, for bringing it onto work sites, for starting a company. And there are a lot of equipment elitists out there. I thought that the majority of them had basically gone away, but it seems like there's a new lot of equipment elitists that have joined the ranks. Basically, just to answer your question, can you start a company, one, and be successful enough be successful enough to have a full-time job with your company using a piece of equipment like a DJI Phantom, kind of like the one that I have behind me. Let me give you an example or our experience. Skyview Aerial Solutions started spring 2014 with four of us. Myself, Tom Fernandez, Derek Brayton, Tom Lucy, and Andy McKittrick. And we put together our business plan surrounding a box of 2 boxes of pizza, some beers, some soda, since I don't drink. And we just hashed out a business plan that I had already put together, I'd say about 14 to 17 pages. And in that business plan was proposed equipment to get our company started. That equipment at the time was DJI's top-of-the-line Phantom family, which was the DJI Phantom 2 Vision Plus. Our plan was to purchase 2 of those and start the entire foundation of the company on those 2 units. That's it, nothing else. And we did it. We went ahead and we purchased 2 of those Phantom 2 Vision Plus models. There was major lens distortion, just like the GoPro. You had to connect with Wi-Fi, and honestly, I wouldn't imagine using those types of units on a work site today. However, that's what we started with, and that's what we had, and it did not limit us in our business growth whatsoever. Now, let me give you some more insight to when we actually were starting our business. There was another company called, oh shit, what was their name? I want to say Rotomotion, some big company. For those of you guys who are local, they were over on Clements Ferry, and they were a pretty good sized company that started back in 2004, and they created these very large helicopter drones that carried massive payloads. And these pieces of equipment were just phenomenal. They are amazing. But even though they had this phenomenal equipment that they were producing themselves and selling, they went out of business. They actually went out of business a few months right after we started. Where one door closes, another one opens. It opened for us. And so we didn't have to compete with them, but it just showed us that that was the void that we were filling. Someone who had massive, high-end, very expensive equipment. And we filled that void in this area, and we filled it really quick. Now, there was another young man in the area that also had a drone himself. You know, there were other guys in there that had Phantoms, but there was a guy in the area that started himself as well with a Phantom 2, with a GoPro and a gimbal that he put on himself. You know, you had the goggles and all that shit. But he ended up upgrading himself to a DJI S1000 with the A2 flight controller, and this thing was a beast. This thing was probably the top unit in the low country at the time, and that's who we were competing with. He had a very nice camera on this unit. He had some excellent relationships. I won't share my personal opinion where I think he got those relationships, but he had some excellent relationships where he was doing some shoots for the Google data center here locally and some other manufacturers. He ended up going out west and doing a commercial for an auto manufacturer. I want to say Range Rover. I may be wrong with that though. I think it was Range Rover. But this major piece of equipment far better than our two Phantom 2s. Still did not, you know, I really hate doing videos and just getting a text in the middle of it. God, that's annoying. That was my stepdaughter. So anyway, where was I? He had this major piece of equipment, much better than both of our Phantom 2s put together, and he still was unable to keep up with us. Why? Because we were out there building relationships with our local government officials, with local businesses, with local charitable organizations, you name it. We were out there knocking on doors. We were cold calling. We were buying food for the local police departments and sheriff's offices. Tell me someone's not going to come up behind me and ask me questions. God, oh, what are they? Oh, it's a drone company out in the middle of the country. Oh, the guy's wearing a camel hat, so he fits in. Anyway, shit. Really? Really? You know, that's why you always carry a concealed weapon on you. Not saying that you don't have anything to worry about, but if you need to take care of something, you can. So anyway, where was I? This guy had a big piece of equipment, and he was eating our dust. We got called into a meeting with a friend of his who is a PhD, and we got called into this meeting to have some big idea pitched to us going on down in Central America, and we thought it was going to be a great business opportunity for us to go get involved in, and it ended up actually turning into a bragging session. We went to this guy's house. He gave us, I think, hors d'oeuvres, some drinks. He showed us how amazing his house looked, and in walks this young man who I'm talking about right now, and they proceed to tell us how indirectly we're amateurs, and if we really want to compete in that space with them, I don't know where this doctor even came in, but if we wanted to compete with them, we needed to turn up our game because we were going nowhere because we didn't have an S1000. We were small actors. Okay, whatever. Fuck you. And we just kept going. We ignored that meeting, and you know what? That guy is gone. They're both gone. That S1000 probably either sold or collecting dust. And here's the thing. Here's the thing with the S1000 at the time. That thing was impressive. And yes, I was jealous. Yes, I wish we had one. But you know what? Someone who says they have an S1000 now, whoop-de-doo. Because why? Someone else has an M600. Or someone has an Inspire 2. There's always going to be something that comes later that all of a sudden makes your thousands and thousands of dollars worth of drones a piece of shit. And all of a sudden, all this money that they threw into this major piece of equipment is now obsolete. Not obsolete, but not the best thing anymore. And the entire time, here we are with two Phantom 2s building relationships. Our first year, we didn't make a whole lot of money. That's the first year of business. But our second year really started picking up. Our third year, we're now in our third year of business, getting ready to enter our fourth. Tell me again that you can't go full-time without a DJI Phantom. I dare you. Yeah, maybe it's the area that we live in. However, yeah, there is a lot of growth. But don't dog on someone getting a DJI Phantom, and that's all they have. You know what? We built a legitimate business making 6 figures a year. And yes, I am full-time. I am full-time. So don't sit here and say, oh, well, there's a few outliers. No, there's not. I believe in hard work, busting your ass, and making it happen. Whether you have a DJI Phantom or whether you have an M600. Now, here in South Carolina, in the South Carolina Low Country, there's not a whole lot of production studios. We don't live in Los Angeles. We don't live in New York and New Jersey. There's not really a huge demand for that type of equipment, but there's a lot of construction here. There's a lot of real estate here, and I can tell you right now, for those of you who are entering it right now, and your best bet, you know, our best bet at the time was a Phantom 2 Vision Plus. if I did it all over again and I'm starting my business today, guess what I'm getting? I'm getting a Phantom 4 Professional. That's it. I'm not going to throw down a ton of money on an Inspire 2 and cross my fingers that someone hires me because they want to hire me because that's the equipment I have. And if I show up on a job site with a Phantom 4 Professional, I'm going to be embarrassed and they're not going to hire me back. Bullshit. I'm telling you that it works. It's not the equipment that gets jobs. It's you out there busting your ass, making friends, and selling yourself. Convert them to your gospel, not to your equipment. Don't show up and say, I have an M600, hire me. I have a red camera, hire me. I'm best friends with someone on the West Coast and they need my help in Atlanta, subcontract me. No, do it yourself, work your ass off, and yes, it becomes full-time. I've ranted for longer than I wanted to, longer than 10 minutes, so I'm not going to go much any longer because I need to get home. It is, it's 4:45, and I have a 45-minute to an hour ride home. So anyway, I hope those words offered some comfort to some of you guys who are just getting started and feel that maybe you get discouraged by some of these equipment elitists. Don't get discouraged. Put the blinders on to all the naysayers on the internet and focus on the people who are going to put money in your bank account in your local community. Anyway, all of you guys have a good day, good night, good morning, whenever you guys watch this. Have a good one. Bye.